I got a comment yesterday asking for some advice on someone who's doing stock photography and advice on their photos. So if we have a look at the comment here, can you have a look through my Shutterstock profile and give me some suggestions if I'm doing something right or wrong? And here's the link. So let's look at the portfolio. And what I'm going to do is just go through and give some advice or my opinion on what could be done better. If we look here, this is the way I always look at photography. You need color in there. You need something interesting or preferably a story to the image. You need to shoot from lots of different angles and then just shoot. Try all the different angles and get in close, go out further away. And then afterwards you can pick the images that you like the best. You might only pick maybe 1 out of 5 or 1 out of 10 images to use. And the idea of shooting lots of images is that you get lots of choice. So let's go back to this portfolio and have a look. I've sorted it in popular order. So these are images that either people have bought or people have looked at more. What I want to do is go down to the images that I like but could still be improved. Now, let's look at this one here. The first thing, color. Actually, I think all of these images have got a nice lot of color. So I think that's okay. It might be worth doing some of these in RAW and then adjusting afterwards. Here it looks like some of the parts are blown out a little bit, so a bit too white in places. But I think it's fine. There's a nice lot of color, so that's good. This first image here, I think this could be improved. I think the story here is that they're looking on their app to find out when the train is coming. And I think this story could just be embellished a little bit. Maybe one could be looking for the train while the other one's looking at the app. You could also get in close. Most of these images are taken at head height, looking direct. So they're not looking up or looking down. They're kind of head height looking direct at them. And what you could actually do here is to get the camera behind the phone. So you could actually look at the phone and then have the backgrounders looking for the train. Or maybe you could have looking behind one of these people and looking for the train. So get some different angles there, getting close and actually have something in the foreground, background. The same thing here. You could do the same thing. This person is in the middle of the image and again, you're looking from head height directly at them. You could probably get behind them and look at the sky. So he's actually worshipping up to the sky, or maybe there's a temple on the left here and he's worshipping something towards the temple. So it actually adds to the story. And another thing I would say is that this is dead space behind here. He's looking this way, so you need something in front of him, some space. But there's nothing behind him and he's not looking that way. So I would actually move the camera more to the left. I would try some shots. So get in a bit closer, move the camera more to the left, take some like that. Take some shots behind him, maybe take some shots really close up, showing the details on his face and get his emotions as well. So try all those different images and then pick the best ones. And probably take 20 or 30 images and then pick maybe 4 or 5 that are really good. Let's look at this one here. I think the same thing. I like the story that people going places, but you need to get in close and actually show the people, maybe show where they're going to or where they've come from. And rather than just showing this from a side view, you might also want to do some details on this one. So you could actually show the details of the wheels, maybe take an image from one of the wheels, so low down, looking up towards where it's going. And it's just so that you're getting angles that are not normally looked at. What's good in stock images is angles that we don't expect. So looking up, looking down, and kind of looking in at details that we don't normally do. The same here, these kids, maybe they're waiting for a bus or something to get to school. And when you're taking photos of kids, you should be on their height, or even you could get a bit lower. You're not an adult looking down at them. You're one of the children who is in with them. So get down a bit and then getting closer to get the expressions. And especially if there's a bus coming along, you could get a picture of them looking at the bus, maybe again get behind them, to look at where they're looking rather than looking at them. You actually look at where are they looking? What are they looking for? So get behind them, and maybe if a bus is coming along, you can take that image as well. And do some other ones. You might want to get them to come around the camera and then look up at them. So get underneath them and some pictures looking up. Those are quite popular in stock photography. You might also want to get some details like their backpack. So you've got the backpack in the foreground and the children, and then the bus that's coming in the background, something like that. With these images here, I would probably get something in the foreground as well, just to give it some depth. So you might have something here, maybe the heads of some people who are looking at it, or you might have some trees, or you might have the cliff that they've just jumped from in the foreground, and then this is in the background. I like the idea that there's lots of colour here, and you could add even more colour by having something in the foreground there. This one here is a good image. You've got someone on a tuk-tuk, but there's nothing actually to see where he's going. So I think I probably would wait until there's a bit more going on here, maybe more traffic or some place that he's actually going to, that you could see through the windscreen. This is probably my favourite photo of all of them, because I like the idea that you can actually see his face and you can see his emotion. He's lifting some construction materials and he's concentrating on it with his face. I like that, and I think you could add even more to this. You could have this background with some construction going on, maybe some other people who are doing similar work, and that would just add to the story and improve the story. But I do like it that because he's gone in close here, you can see that the background's got blurred, and it's good because that shows the depth. So that's my comments about these images. Number one probably is the story, but keep lots of colour and then definitely get lots of angles. So if you've got your own comments about the images, please put them down below.